Right guys, welcome back. This is a challenge accepted game. Liam has brought his Eldar. It's the first time Liam's Eldar have been on the channel. You've seen his Space Wolves before, and he's challenged me with Tyranids. We're still at War Games, and this is today's second game. This is the table today. So the mission is cleanse and control. We haven't rolled for sides as of yet, so we've got the 6 objectives. Number 1, number 2, 3, number 4, 5, and 6. So we're on this planet that's been abandoned, and the trees and vegetation have started growing back, and the Nids have come to eat, and the Eldar feel the threat of them and have come to quell them. Right, so this is the Tyranid force I brought 2 combined arms detachments. So this is the first one. The Warlord is the Flying Hive Tyrant with Twin-Link Devourers and Brainleech Worms, 2 sets of them, wings and electroshock grubs. His powers was it the Horror and Catalyst. We've then got, for troops, a squad of 4 warriors. The 2 guys at the front with bone swords actually have lash whip and bone swords. The ones with the rending claws or scything talons rather, actually have bone swords. We've then got an elite choice of 3 or 2 Zoanthropes and a Neurothrope. They have Spirit Leech, Warp Blast and Paroxysm. We've then got 2 separate units of a single Hive Guard with Impaler Cannons. And then we've got 2 units of 15 Gaunt. Each unit has 5 Devourers in there. We've then got a Morlock, no upgrades at all on him. Right, so the second combined arms detachment has a Tervagon with psychic power of the Horror. We have 2 separate broods of Carnifex, each with Twin-Link Devourers, Brainleech Worms, 2 sets of them. We've got fast attack wise, we have the Hive Crone. Hive Crone's just coming in as standard. We've then got a squad of 10 Gargoyles, no upgrades at all on them. And for troops, we've got 2 squads of 10 Hormigants with Toxin Sacks. The Warlord trait on the Flying Hive Tyrant is to reroll the D3. Right, so this is Liam's Wraith army. Liam, do you want to talk us through your army?
Right, I have a CAD and the Wraith Host formation.
Yep.
In the Wraith Host formation, I have 1 squad of Wraith Blades with the axes.
Yep.
Then I have 2 squads of Wraith D cannons.
Yep.
I have a Wraith Lord with the Ghost Glaive, 2 Flamers, a Star Cannon, and a Scar Laser that is being proxied as a Shuriken Cannon.
Okay, and what so far so you got? Has he got any upgrades or anything?
No, he's just standard.
No problem. What was his psychic powers?
He rolled on Telepathy.
Yep.
He got the Primaris, which is Psychic Shriek. He got Invisibility, and he got number 3, which
Terrify.
was Terrify, yes.
Okay, and then you've also got the Wraith Knight.
Yep. The Wraith Knight, he's running with the D-Sword and the Scar Shield. He's got 2 Shuriken Cannons.
No problem. So that's the Wraith Host, yeah? For those who don't know, they automatically get Battle Focus in the Wraith Host, and they all have Spirit Mark. I think, is it within 18 of the spirits here?
Yep.
Yep. So then you've got a combined arms attachment as well. What's in this?
The HQ for this is the Spirit Seer.
Yep.
Once again, just standard. I've got 1 squad of Wraith Guard with the Flamers for elite.
Yep.
For my troops, I've got 3 squads of Eldar jet bikes, all with Shuriken Cannons.
Ouch.
I have 2 Wave Servants in fast attack.
Yep.
They both have Shuriken Cannons for the Twin-Linked and Underslung, but that one's being proxied with Scar Lasers.
No problem.
And I've got a Crimson Hunter Exarch with 2 Bright Lances and a Pulse Laser.
No problem. And what was your Warlord trait again?
I am allowed to draw 4 cards at the beginning of the game instead of 3.
No problem. So let's go for deployment. Right, so welcome back after deployment. Liam has elected to choose this side of the table. So we've got, are these the ones from the combined arms?
No, those are Yeah, those are the ones from the card. They're the flamers.
No problem. So we've got the one squad of jet bikes here, Spirits here, and a squad of Wraith Guard in the Serpent. Just to note as well, the Serpents do all have hollow fields. The Wraith Knight is in dead centre. Another squad of Wraith with the axes and the Spirits here at this side. Another bike, more Wraith, more bikes, and then we've just got the single Wraith Lord at this side. My counter deployment, got the 2 Carnifexes with the Tervagon there, a Hive Guard and Venom Thrope in the cover, a line of 10 Hormigans, 15 Termagants with the Zoanthropes. And then over this side we've got another 15 Termagants, the Flying Hive Tyrant, we've got a Venom Thrope and a Hive Guard down here. And then we've got the 12 Gargoyles, 10 Gargoyles, 10 Hormigans, and the 4 Tyranid Warriors there. I am looking to seize the initiative, so do I steal? Boom, no I don't, so we'll move on to Eldar, turn 1. Right, so Liam has drew Combined Strike, Secure Objective 3, Secure Objective 3, and Secure Objective 4. So these Wraith have moved forward slightly. This Serpent and the bikes pushing forward. The Wraith Guard here with the axes looking to hopefully sit on Objective 3, I reckon. The other Serpent and these bikes again pulled forward. The Wraith Lord looking to go down the side and the bikes pulling forward. The Wraith Knight jumped dead centre. I think he's going to go probably for that massive Gaunts and Zoanthropes there. So we'll now move on to the Psychic phase. Right, so in the Psychic phase, Liam cast Invisibility on the Wraith Knight. He got it off twice. I chucked 10 dice into it, and unfortunately I only managed to get 1 6, so the Wraith Knight is now invisible. So moving from this side, these guys shot down, as well as the Serpent with all of its cannons, and took out 2 Gaunts here. I was getting cover saves due to the Venom Thrope there. Actually the bikes there shot up at the Flyrant and stripped him of a wound. He passed his ground and test though. The Wraith Knight and the bikers and the Wave Serpent there took out some of the Gaunts here. And over this side, the 3 bikers and the Wraith Lord shot down at this Carnifex, and he lost 1 wound. So that is the end of the shooting phase. Liam is now probably going to make some assault jumps. Alright, so assault moves, these guys roll a double 1, so they've only jumped an inch just to spread out a little bit. These guys rolled a 12, so they've jumped back out the way, and these ones rolled an 8, so they've pulled back as well. Liam does score Secure Objective 3 twice, and he's elected to keep Combined Strike but discard Secure Objective 4. So at the end of Eldar turn 1, the score is 2-0. Right, so I've drew Secure Objective 2, Secure Objective 5, and Secure Objective 6. We've done the movement. Gargoyles have moved forward there 12 inches. The Warriors and the Hormigans unfortunately got a poor move through cover. The Venom Thrope and the Hive Guard pushed forward as well. These Termagants have ran forward or moved their 6 inches. And the Flyrant has gone 18. Down here, these Gaunts only moved forward ever so slightly, and the Zoanthropes pushed forward as well just to get within range for Warp Blast. Just to note as well, Liam's shooting phase, the Wraith Knight actually took one of the Zoanthropes down. The Hormigans again just moved through the cover 3 inches. Tervagon has moved up here and spawned 11 Termagants, and she didn't double out. The Venom Thrope and Hive Guard and the Carnifex also pushing forward. They are actually on Objective 5 there. Objective 6, probably not going to make it to it. And Objective number 2 is this one here, so it's going to be difficult to get onto that, but we shall see what we can do. Right, so in the Psychic phase, the Hive Tyrant has cast Feel No Pain on himself, Catalyst. The Zoanthropes tried to cast Paroxysm on the Wraith Knight. I got it off twice, and Liam managed to roll 2 6s to stop it. Down here as well, the Zoanthropes cast Warp Burst, the blast version of Warp Blast. Managed to kill one of the bikes, but they have passed their leadership, so we'll now move on to shooting phase. Right, so the shooting phase is over. We have managed to take out one of the bikes that were there with the Gargoyles. and the Devourers from back here were just within range and managed to take the rest of them out. That scores us first blood. The Warriors and the Hormigans got a poor run, unfortunately. They got a 1 inch run, so they ran 4 inches altogether, and the Warriors pushed forward as well. The Hive Tyrant over here got a glance on the Wave Serpent with Electric Shock Grubs, and he managed to score 2 glances with a set of Twin Link Devourers, but Liam passed both of his Hollowfield saves. Down here, the spawned Gaunts ran 5 inches to spread out. The Hormigans ran up behind them as well. The Hive Guard here shot down at the Wave Serpent, but didn't do any damage. Just noting as well, the Hive Guard that is in that rune as well, again also shot at that one, but didn't damage. The Carnifex here on this side managed to take out the 2 bikers that were there, and this one, despite getting a glance on here, Liam was getting a 4 cover due to the runes being in the way, and he passed it. So that is it for shooting and running. I haven't got any assaults, so I do score secure objective 5. I've scored first blood. Do I discard 6? No, I think I will discard objective 2, as that one's going to be more difficult to get with Wraith probably being either side of it, so I think I'll discard that one. Alright, so Eldar turn 2. Liam has drawn Combined Strike, Strands of Fate, which he rolled a 2 for, and Hold the Line. So there's objective 2. For his movement, these guys have jumped out of the Wave Serpent. Crimson Hunter came on, so he's looking to probably shoot down the Hive Tyrant. These guys have pushed forward just off objective 3 a little bit. Bikers here, probably looking to go for the Gaunts. This Wave Serpent moved forward 6, and the Wraith Guard jumped out this side, probably looking to take the Carnifexes out and still shoot down at some Gaunts. So, after the Wraith Knight has jumped forward, we're now going to move on to the Psychic phase. Right, so in the Psychic phase, the Spirit Seer there cast Psychic Shriek down at the Gargoyles. He got a hit, but Liam rolled 6 on 3 dice, so no wounds. The Wraith Knight, again, is invisible. I chose not to stop that, I tried to stop Psychic Shriek. In the shooting phase, these guys managed to get the reroll to hit due to being the Warlord here being within 18 inches of the Spirit Seer. And they, despite rerolling the hit, didn't get any hits on the Hive Tyrant. Crimson Hunter, however, managed to get 2 wounds through. I failed 2 Jinx saves and failed 2 Feel No Pains, but did pass the grounding test, so he's alive on 1 wound. Over this side, the Wraith here smashed the other Carnifex that was there into pieces with the D cannons, and the Wraith Lord here with the Sheraton Cannon and Star Cannon managed to strip 2 wounds from this Carnifex as well. The Bikers here and the twin-linked cannon on the top of the Wave Serpent there killed about 5 or 6 of the Gaunts that were at the front, and the Wraith Knight shot down at the Zoanthrope and the Termagants here. Liam's declared the Termagants as the primary target. Lost the Termagant despite a 5-up cover due to the Venomthrope, and managed to pass the 3-up invuln on the Neurothrope. So that's it for shooting. We'll now move on to assaults. Right, so in the assault phase, the Wraith Knight managed to cut down 2 Termagants altogether and rolled a 1 for the stomp, so no damage was dealt out there. These Bikes assault jumped back, so that does score Liam Strands of Fate, which was objective 2. He gets Hold the Line for having 3 units in his deployment zone, and he gets Combined Strike as he took out the Carnifex that was there. So that gives him 3 points that turn, plus 2 from last turn, was it?
Yeah.
Gives the Eldar score of 5. Right, so I've got a secure objective 6, Hungry for Glory issue a challenge, which is going to be difficult, and I drew another secure objective 6. So for reserves, the Morlock came in, but the Hive Crone didn't. Tried to get the Morlock to pop up straight on these. Unfortunately, he did scatter here and cause a wound on the Lord, but I couldn't place him, and he's gone into ongoing reserve, so he's on automatically again next turn. I was hoping to maybe get rid of some of these guys, place them, and then run onto objective 6. that caused me to change plans. So the Carnifex, the Hive Guard, the Tervagon, and the Venom Throat have all come around this way. Meanwhile, I'm looking to charge the Termagants from there first, and the Hormagaunts to hopefully kill them. And if I get a decent enough consolidation move, I might be able to get near it, but we'll have to see. The Zoanthropes have pulled this way slightly as well. These guys are locked in combat. Meanwhile, over here, everything is pushing forward in one giant swarm, hopefully to try and do some damage to the Wraith over here. The Hive Tyrant has moved straight over the Crimson Hunter and vector struck it to cause a single hull point. So that is it for the movement. Let's move on to Psychic. Right, so 3 of the warriors here. The Devourer gaunts that can reach, and all of the gargoyles shot down, and despite getting a couple of wounds in on the guards down here, Liam passed all of his saves. Over this side in the Psychic phase, the Zoanthropes did cast Warp Lance at the rear armour. Obviously it was an auto pen, and Liam passed his invuln. They then ran sideways. In the rest of the shooting phase, the Hive Guard here shot at the Wave Serpent there. And Liam again passed his invulns. The Termagants here and the Termagants at that side shot through at the Wraith Guard as well. And again, despite getting a couple of wounds, Liam passed all of his saves. We've still got a few more things to shoot. We've got this Carnifex here. We've got the Hive Guard over this side. And the Hive Tyrant, because he vector struck the Crimson Hunter last turn, could only shoot one weapon. I went for the Wraith Guard here, hoping to get lucky and maybe kill the Spirit Seer, but Liam again passed all of his saves. So we'll work out the rest of the shooting and then move on to assaults. Right, so in the rest of the shooting phase, the Carnifex managed to bring down one of the I will keep meaning to say Hive Guard, Wraith Guard. In the assault phase, the Termagants charged in first and ate up the Overwatch. As a result, the Hormagaunts only cut down 1 despite having poisoned and wounded on 4+. The Carnifex then tore down the last 3, and unfortunately none of them got a very good consolidation move, so they're not going for objective 6. I think I'll still have to probably push up there to try and grab that. In the rest of combat, the Wraith Knight stomped his way out with the Termagant over here. So I don't score any points, but I am going to discard, issue a challenge. Right, so Liam has Scour the Skies, Assassinate, and Big Game Hunter. So everything is converging on the Flying Hive Tyrant with 1 wound left. These guys have jumped out as well, looking to get shots. The Spirit Seer has jumped out. The Wraith Guard there moved through cover, looking to get some nice Flamer template on all of this. The Crimson Hunter is darting about with Vector Dancer. The Wraith Knight probably looking to go after the Zoanthrope. We'll see what happens. Over here, the Wraith Lord is probably going to be using his Flamers to purge some of the gaunts down there. And this Serpent has pulled back slightly, looking to get some shots in. Maybe take out the Carnifex, we'll have to see. Right, so in the Psychic phase and shooting phase that we've just done, shooting phase, these bikes shot up at the Warlord, and despite him jinking and feel no pain, he was brought down, unfortunately. This guy here and the other Spirit Seer cast Psychic Shriek at the gargoyles that were there, and unfortunately Liam failed to get it off with 3 dice in each. The Wave Serpent and the Wraith Guard here and the Wraith Guard Flamers that are in the building there managed to take out all but 1 of the gargoyles. The Crimson Hunter here had line of fire just on one of the Tyranid warriors, but unfortunately Liam failed to hit. This side, the Wave Serpent popped his shield and managed to take out a few of the Hormagaunts along with the Sheraton cannons as well. The Wraith Knight shot the Sheraton cannons down at the Neurothrope and Zoanthrope, and then second one at the Tervagon, but unfortunately didn't cause any wounds. This side, however, the Wraith Lord decided to lay down the Flamers and purged 11 Termagants that were there, and he did get 1 wound on the one cover of the Hive Guard, but unfortunately failed to wound. So that is it for the shooting phase. We'll now move on to assaults. Right, so the assault phase, as expected, the Wraith Knight chomped down on the Neurothrope and Zoanthrope. He rolled a 6, which eliminated the Neurothrope entirely, and the Zoanthrope failed one of his saves, unfortunately. That scores Liam Slay the Warlord, plus Scour the Skies, Assassinate, and Big Game Hunter, simply for taking out the Hive Tyrant. So he was on 5, he's just scored 4 points there, puts him up to 9. Right, so I've drew Secure Objective 6, Secure Objective 6, and Supremacy. Let's see if we can try and knock Liam off some objectives. Right, movement phase. The Hive Crone has landed, and he's going to be vector striking the Crimson Hunter. The Morlock popped up and managed to do some damage to those Wraithguard there and almost take out Liam's Warlord, so we'll see if that can do any damage. Single Gargoyle has pulled forward. He's going to sacrifice himself to the Overwatch of the Flamers, and Hormigans are going to charge in afterwards. Termagants are going to be securing Objective 2, as I have a Combined Arms attachment. I do trump Liam on the objective there. The Morlock is holding Objective 3. Over this side, Termagants have pushed forward to get Objective 6 twice for me. The Venomthrope and the Hive Guard have pulled forward, as has the Tervagon. The Carnifex and these warriors, the Hormigants rather, are going to come back and try and take out this Wraith Lord here. So we've got a few end of movement things to do, such as Spawn and Gaunts and the Vector Strike, and then we'll move on to Psychic. Right, so down here in the shooting phase, I elected to try and shoot the warriors at the Spirit Seer that was there, and they managed to take him down. The Flesh Borer from the Gargoyle and all the Termagants rather here with the Devourers managed to take one of the Wraith Guard down. I shot a Tentaclid at the Crimson Hunter, and unfortunately I rolled a 1 with the Haywire, and I only managed to strip 1 hull point from the Vector Strike. I did manage, however, to destroy the Pulse Laser on the front. Over this side, the Tervagon and the Carnifex both unloaded into the Wraith Lord, and despite getting a few wounds, Liam again passed an insane number of saves on everything that's been forced saves on. So the Psychic phase was very short as well. We tried to cast a minion with a Tervagon, but unfortunately Liam managed to stop it. So we'll now go into the Assault phase. Right, so in the Assault phase, we've just lifted the building up for easiness. The Gargoyle got absolutely tore to pieces with the Flamers. The Hormigants then charged and made it in, and followed by the Termagants. And we managed to bring down 2 of them all together. Obviously Liam is fearless, but because I am troops, I do trump him on that objective over there. That was after Liam killed 2 of the Hormigants due to going first, as we ran through cover. Over this side, however, I charged the Tervagon at the Wraith Lord to eat up the Overwatch, and she actually failed the charge. The Hormigants charged in, as well as the Carnifex, and the Hormigants managed to get 9 wounds on the Wraith Lord and brought them down, so they both consolidated back this way slightly. So the end of Tyranid's turn, is it 4, 3? 3. We secure Objective 6 twice. We also get Supremacy as we control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objectives. So I believe that is D3. It is, and I get to re-roll it. That's a 1. Still 1 point, so that scores me 3 points, which puts the score at, is it?
5-9.
5-9. Right, so Eldar turn 4. Liam has drew Overwhelming Firepower, Harness the Warp, and Behind Enemy Lines, which is not going to be hard for any of him to do. So he's done his movement. The Serpent is looking probably to fire down at the Venomthrope or the Warriors. And these guys have all pulled back this way, looking to take on the Morlock. Serpent on this side is looking to get some shots in over this way as well. And the Wraith Knight is going to be charging down there, we think. So we'll see what happens. Alright, so Psychic phase, Liam had 3 dice altogether. He rolled a 1 and cast Psychic Shriek on the... was it the Venomthrope? No, it was the Morlock. And unfortunately he rolled a double 6, then rolled a 1, then failed his leadership test. so he got dragged into the wall, which does score me Slay the Warlord. The Wraithguard, however, only took 1 hit and wasn't wounded as a result of that. The D cannons shot everything down at the Morlock, and Liam rolled a 6 when he only got 2 hits, so I was hoping to survive that, but never mind. The Wave Serpent unloaded the Shuriken cannons onto the Venom Thrope, and unfortunately he just couldn't take enough 3-up saves. Over this side, the Lone Jet Biker from last turn and this Wave Serpent unloaded everything into a squad of 6 Termagants, and 1 survived, so that stopped Liam from getting the D3 for overwhelming firepower. Down here, the Wraith Knight killed 2 of the Hormigants and didn't get any wounds on that Carnifex. So that's it for shooting. We're now going on to assaults. Right, so in assaults down here, despite them all having poison, we only managed to pull down 1 of the Wraithguard, unfortunately. Liam didn't cause any casualties as a result. Over this side as well, as expected, the Wraith Knight trampled all over the Hormigants. The Hormigants did get a couple of wounds in, but Liam passed his saves. So he gets overwhelming firepower for killing the Venom Thrope and the Morlock, but he didn't kill 3 units in the shooting phase, so he only gets 1 point. Harness the Warp, he got Psychic Shriek off still, so that actually counts as going off. So he scores 2 points there, which puts the score at 11-5. Right, so just a note from the scores, it's actually 11-6 as I got Kingslayer, Slay the Warlord when Liam was pulled into the Warp. So straight away I'm getting Kingslayer, Secure Objective 1 and Secure Objective 3. The Hive Guard here is on number 1. He did move through cover up just to make sure he gets it. And number 3 is there. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get over to that one, but we'll have to see what we can do. They've done the rest of the movement. The Warriors are starting to push forward a bit, looking to eventually make it over to them guys. The Tervagon, she did double out last turn. She's looking to hopefully take out this Wave Serpent. Hive Guard is hiding under there as well. Maybe he can take out the jet bike that's left. The Carnifex, again, looking to come this way and hopefully try and get his way onto the Wave Serpent. And I'm using those gaunts there purely to try and hold the Wraith Knight up so that these guys can make it far enough across. And a single gaunt over that way, just keeping Objective 6 in case it comes out again. So we'll move on to the Psychic and Shooting phase. Right, so shooting phase hasn't been too bad at all. These guys unloaded the Devourers at the Wraithguard and managed to take 1 down. I then used the Drill Cannon and the Tentaclid and managed to strip a single hull point from the Wave Serpent there, as well as take out 1 of the Hive Guards as the Drill Cannon managed to cover 2 of those as well. Over here in the shooting phase, I managed to strip a hull point off the Wave Serpent with the Electroshock Grubs from the Tervagon, and I did get a single glance in on the Wave Serpent from the Twin Link Devourers, but Liam managed to pass his save. The Hive Guard that is hiding in there managed to take out the lonely biker that was left. And over this side, obviously he was in Synapse at the beginning of the movement phase. He took a pot shot at the Crimson Hunter. I was hoping to take it down as it's on 1 hull point, but unfortunately I didn't get any hits. So we'll now move on to the assault phase. Alright, so assault phase over here. The Tervagon actually made it into combat, and she got 2 hits, and I managed to get a pen. But Liam, as ever, has managed to pass his 5-up invuln with them Holofields. The Carnifex rolled an 7-inch charge. She needed an 8 to make it in. So the Wave Serpent still stands on 2 hull points. Over here, however, the Hormigans finally tore down the last standing Wraithguard. Obviously the terrain piece is still there, like I said, we've just moved it for ease of the amount of models. So yeah, that was it for the assaults. It does mean that I'm on 6 plus D3 for Kingslayer. 2, I'll keep that, so that takes us to 8, and a Secure Objective 1 takes me to 9. Secure Objective 3 I don't have, but I'm going to keep hold of it. So at the end of turn 4, the score is 11-9. Right, so Eldar turn 5, we've drew no prisoners. He's drew behind enemy lines still, and ascendancy, which is control any 3 objective markers. So, the Wraith Guard by himself there is controlling that one. These Wraith Guard have moved this way, looking to probably pop the Tervagon. And this guy is flat out just to get to objective 4, as I didn't have anything on there. The Wraith Knight's pulled forward, and he's probably going to take out the Termagants there. The Crimson Hunter, meanwhile, has pulled from the side, vector dancing all over the place, probably looking to take out some of the warriors. So, we'll now move on to the rest of the shooting phase. Right, so as expected in the shooting phase, Liam got 2 hits with the Wraith Guard against the Tervagon, and he rolled a 6, so she got splattered. As a result, 4 Termagants here died. The Wraith Knight shot down and killed them. Down here, the Crimson Hunter got 2 hits with the Bright Lancers and doubled out 2 of the warriors, resulting in them dying. The Wave Serpent there managed to strip a single wound from that one. So that's the end of the turn. Liam does score no prisoners for killing the Termagants there and the Tervagon. He's got ascendancy for D3 because he controls 1, 2, 3 objective markers. And what was the other card?
Behind enemy lines.
Which he doesn't score at the moment, but he's just rolled that, so that gives him 12, 13, 14 points to my 9. Right, so we just looked at the cards. I've drew Secure Objective 4, Harness the Warp, and Secure Objective 3. Harness the Warp, I can only score... Actually, I can't score at all, due to the Tervagon being dead. Secure 3 is the only one that I'm going to be able to get to. Secure 4, I'm not going to be able to make it, and I would only be able to get Line Breaker. So, I've decided to call the game there, as this was going to be the last turn of the game anyway. It's been very difficult fighting against the Eldar with Tyranids. They don't really have too much answer to armour unless you're really, really up close. And the Wave Serpent's proved invaluable to Liam, I think. But yeah, that is the end of the game. And obviously Liam has won the challenge accepted. Liam, it's been a great game. And hopefully we'll have another battle soon. And a left-handed handshake. Thank you very much. I've really enjoyed it. But hopefully the Tyranids will be back to take on the Eldar when we get a little bit more to the force.
Yeah.